On this episode, we have a sensational and legendary guest. We have the incredible US rapper and actor, Chingy. Chingy's unbelievable stats for his illustrious career to date include 8 top 100 Billboard chart hits, sold over 25 million albums worldwide, and incredibly over 1 billion streams worldwide. Chingy is releasing his new amazing and incredible album titled Chinglish, which comes out and is being released this Friday, the 16th of June. Welcome to the multi-talented and legendary Chingy, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
What's up, my brother? How you doing? How's everybody out there doing? Peace and love. I'm just moving and grooving.
That's what you got to do, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump straight into it.
Mhm.
Take us back briefly and tell me about what life was like growing up in the great St. Louis and what your family and friends and I guess your life was like back then.
Growing up in the great St. Louis, family and friends. I grew up in the inner city on the north side of St. Louis, place called Walnut Park. But we moved around. I've stayed in the projects downtown. I've stayed in North County. We stayed somewhere everywhere in St. Louis, but I grew up in Walnut Park on the north side in the city. And then, poverty, gangs, drugs, the neighborhood was not a so good neighborhood. But I still went to school because we moved out of there and moved to North County where I went to school in that system and graduated and everything. But the thing that kept me contained and kind of just always having a goal and something to push forward to was I love music. And so that's what allowed me to not get in so much trouble. I mean, we teens. As a teen, I got into trouble. I did things. I think we all have. But the music kind of kept me on a path where I was like, I'm trying to make this happen. So I kind of tried to get away from a lot of the imbalanced things that was going on. Mother working, daddy was in the street. Both sides of my family, pretty much my cousins, uncles, everybody was pretty much in the street. And so you kind of gravitated to that, whether you liked it or not, because you was around it. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, just a lot of, like I said, my mother was working, do hair and had her own thing, but was nurse and stuff. But like I say, rest of the family in the streets. And so that's kind of where you want to be like your uncles and daddy and cousins who had all the money, what I'm saying, what they was doing. And so, but like I said, music always kept me on a path like this, what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna try to make this happen as well while I'm trying to navigate through my life.
Yeah, well, you've done amazing. Obviously, to a certain degree, I guess you've beaten odds, and you're a product of your environment, right? So it's incredible
Yeah,
what you've done in your
right.
life. Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate that, man. Thanks.
No, no worries. All right. Tell me, I guess, about the success you've had and how going back, I guess, to obviously right there, that obviously,
Hmm.
I guess propelled you to, stardom and fame and, really smashed you out there. How have you matured, I guess, to where you are now to back then, like as a person?
How I've matured now versus back then. Um, I'm a grown man now. Back then I was early 20s, middle 20s, and just growing, but I didn't have the mind I have now. When I say that, I'm just talking about on a spiritual, every level, mental,
Sure.
spiritual, physical, everything is kind of heightened. And trials and tribulations of what I went through kind of got me to that point. I've always been a humble dude, down to earth, but I practice inner stillness and meditation and becoming and mindfulness. You know what I mean? And so I gave up a lot of things like drinking, smoking, and stuff, and for like reading, research, and learning. A lot of people don't know I got a degree in astrology, cosmology, astronomy.
Well, that's incredible.
I've Yeah, I studied psychology, the anatomy of the body, the metaphysics of religion, metaphysics of thought, a lot of things. And so I'm just my intelligence grew. My intelligence got wider versus back then when it was, 2003, 2004, 2005, 6, and all of that. I was still young and didn't know the business, didn't know what was really going on. I just loved the music. I just wanted to do music. You know what I mean? And I got in it, and I would like to say around my third album and stuff is when I was really becoming a star. Is when things you started to hear imbalanced things and different stuff coming out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh, where all this come from? You know what I mean? But I was young, and I would say just my intelligence got a little wider.
Cool. All right, tell me about the new incredible album Chinglish, and I guess what that represents and how it's come about.
The is it the EP Ching that not call it the EP because it's got like 8 records,
Sure.
and EPs usually like 6 to 8 records. Albums are like usually 12 to 14, but we could say it's an album. It's great music for the people. But how that came about over the years, man, I probably came up with 50 album titles. I probably have 50 albums that over the years, periodically, I've been putting songs and EPs out. And so if people have been paying attention a little, I've been dropping music for years. It's just, when you don't have the major record deals and everything, it's a little different. The grind is a little different. You don't get all the perks. You know what I mean? So if the fans are true fans, they have to really tune in to see what the artist is doing and putting out and where it's going. And so Chinglish is just my truth, my reality, me, myself, and I, and my terminology. You know what I mean? And so when you hear it, it's a variety of things on that project. Like Can't Blame Me is about some of the trials and tribulations, which is like the first song, trials and tribulations I went through in the industry. Um, the single I just dropped, Rewind Time, is a song about close friends and family of mine who passed that I wish was still here. That Good is a record for the ladies, me being intimate and sexual towards the ladies, appreciating the female creature. I got a song on there called Everything, in which I get a little political and talk about a lot of universal issues. I got a song with Twister on there called She Do It that I produced. And it's about just she do it. Actually, how I start the song off is about people not understanding the lives of young ladies who dance or strip. And you know what I'm saying? And just appreciating that aspect of a female, and it's some dance music. And so Chinglish is a cool project, man. And it's like I said, just my truth, me, myself, and I, my terminology, and how my perception of things.
Cool. What are your fans representing to you? What do they mean to you, your fans?
What do they mean to me?
Yeah.
Well, what my fans mean to me is they're the reason I'm pretty much Chingy, the reason I stand where I stand. You know what I mean? Because they appreciate my music. They love my music, but they love me as well as they love my music. Some of them love me more than they love the music. So, which is a great thing because sometimes people could like your music over. I've seen artists not get nowhere because the people love the music more than the artist. You know what I mean? And I think my fans, they just mean the existence to me. They mean the world to me because this is what I do it for. This is why I'm here. This is why I make music, because I want people to listen to it. I want people to appreciate it, accept it. And they've shown me that they appreciate and accept my music for these 20 years that I've been in this industry. And so they mean everything.
Yeah, cool. As a personal fan too, growing up, I used to love your music when I was younger, and my favorite
Thanks,
song
man.
was Balla Baby. That was an
Great
incredible
record.
song, great record. And
Great record.
you've always been a cool kind of just relaxed, chilled vibe kind of guy. So I can
Yeah.
totally relate to what you're saying. Totally understand it.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, but for anybody that know me, know that if you can't get along with me, you're probably an asshole.
Right?
You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty laid back, down to earth dude, man. What you see is what you get. I show love. I don't think I'm no better than nobody else. I don't put myself on a plateau or a pedestal thinking that because I'm doing a certain something like music in the industry I'm in that I'm better than somebody. We all are equal.
Right?
We all have our special skill sets. Nobody's no bigger than the next individual. I don't care if it's Jordan, LeBron James. Jordan is no bigger than LeBron James. LeBron James is no bigger than Jordan. They're both great. Tupac is no bigger than Biggie. Biggie's no bigger than Tupac. They're both great. We all have our skill sets. You know what I mean? But sometimes in this industry and when social media, you can see these things that's put out there to make you look like you competition, competition. With me, competition divides. And if people pay attention, you can see it all the time through football games, basketball games. This team root for this team. Sometimes they get into fights because this team think they better than this team. Competition divides. You know what I mean? If you're truly about your craft, you do that and don't worry about any competition or who you compare it to. You just do it to your best ability. You know what I mean? And ain't no comparison to that. Doing it to your best ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Tell me about Right There. Obviously that went to number two on the mainstream Billboard charts. Where did the word "the" come from? It's always interesting.
Actually, so where did the word there come from? Actually, it's just like I can't even say there. Like if I try to, I can't get it. I can't do it. So actually, coming from the inner city in St. Louis, the poverty and that's how we talk. It's not a word that's been came up with or none of that. That's how we talk. And so we can help it. I couldn't say, hey, I'm finna go over there. It'll sound crazy, me trying to say it, because I can't say it. You know what I mean? But in terms of the song right there, that just came from me like seeing some cute girls and being like, damn, that girl, them some nice looking girls right there. And so I just made it a song. And this is literally how it came about. Like
Incredible.
in '96 is when I wrote the first hook in the first verse to right there in '96. And so that's literally how it came about, seeing some cute girls and being like, damn, the girls look good right there. And that's really how it came about. And so it wasn't until 2003 where I finished it. And it's amazing how that song, I wrote the first verse and hook in '96. Came out in '93 and is the biggest record. Like, you know,
Sensational. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
best piece of advice I've ever received. Do to others as you want done to you.
Cool. And what's the best piece of advice you would give to someone else, even a younger Chingy coming through, I guess, the grades?
Um, Stick with your craft, always push, stay focused, work hard, be passionate, compassionate about what you're doing because dreams come true. I'm living proof. I'm the guy who thought the dreams didn't come true, and but I kept pushing and stayed focused, and voila, dreams come true. So stay focused, be passionate, love what you do, and keep going forward no matter what.
Great advice. What You've obviously had a lot of longevity. You've had an illustrious career. Just as you articulated. What do you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
What I want my legacy to be when it's all said and done, great guy, made great music, respectable guy who appreciated existence from the landmass of the earth to the high rising clouds, appreciated people no matter if they were homosexual, straight, whatever they are, appreciated people and made great music to have fun to that everybody could love from the kids on to the parents and the grandparents. Simple, simplicity with me.
Very charming. All right. What what inspires you daily?
What inspires me daily? Um, Taking care of myself, meaning eating healthy, getting the proper supplementation. So the body is like a car. So the car needs oil, the car needs gas, the car needs tune up. The body, well, actually, vehicle means body. And so you have to give yourself the proper supplementation as well, meaning minerals, vitamins, and taking care of yourself in nutrition and all of that. And so that's a big part of my life that I take very serious. So
Yeah,
I would say that.
yeah, you look great. You haven't aged a day since when you first came out, in my personal opinion. You look great.
Yeah, I'm a vampire. I have a glass of blood every night. No, I'm joking.
That's too funny. What you've collaborated with obviously some of the greats, Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, oh yeah. So that's another. When I say dreams come true, I used to go to Atlanta looking for Jermaine Dupri when I was like 12, 13, because Criss Cross was one of my favorite groups of all time. Rest in peace to Chris Kelly. And I used to go looking for Jermaine Dupri, try to sign to him. So having the number one record with Pulling Me Back with Jermaine Dupri lets me know I did my job. You know what I mean? That was a dream. That was a dream come true.
Wow, that's amazing. If you can look back briefly in your career, is there a specific standout moment that really just go, wow, like that just resonates in your brain?
Standout moment is probably working with Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson's sister, the Jacksons, and getting her, being able to be on a dope track with Janet titled Me and You are for my second album, Powerball, and working with Janet Jackson and her calling the studio to speak to me to let me know how much she loves the song and she appreciates it. That's a standout moment.
Cool. If you're 18